Good morning, friends. Today is a great day to harvest our garlic. This is garlic that I overwintered. I planted around October time, and I let it do a really good cold stratification process, just basically where it gets a extended time to stay in the ground when it is at or below freezing. And that's what really helps it develop all of those beautiful cloves. This past year I did decide to find a variety that did really well for my area, and I really think that we are going to get a really beautiful harvest of garlic. I won't lie, I did go ahead and pull a few testers just to see how they were doing, and typically in my area we're harvesting garlic around July 4th. Today is June 18th, so we're about 2.5 weeks ahead of schedule because these cloves are ready to come out of the ground. So the typical telltale signs of garlic being ready to harvest is that you have 2 to 5 leaves that are brown. And as you can see in my garlic back here, or maybe not see, I'll zoom you in, I've got at least 2 to 3 leaves per stalk, but I am extremely happy with the size of these bulbs. So let's get to harvesting. I am so excited. Last season was such a terrible season for garlic for me. A lot of my bulbs were extremely tiny, and I'll actually get to show you guys a comparison of those sizes because I planted more of the garlic in that same space that I did last season. And I'll get to compare it to the garlic in this bed, which gets way more sun. So I'm just gonna go ahead and just start plucking these guys out, and hopefully, oh my God. Guys, just look at how stinking big these things are. So my plan is to go ahead and strip the bottom leaf off just so that I can clean this guy up. And so we'll just go ahead and pull that bottom leaf off. And this cleans up the garlic, getting all the dirt off. I'm gonna leave the stalks on these guys because that's how I'm gonna hang them upside down in my basement. Just found the best way to do that. So I'll do that, and then I'll grab my clippers here, and I'll just chop the roots off. And then this guy is ready to be put in my basement to dry for about 2 to 3 weeks, and we'll have a beautiful storage of some garlic. And look how it's so much bigger than last season, and I'm so excited. I think most of these guys are this size. So let's get to harvesting. Looks like I had one that didn't want to come out. So this guy I will go ahead and just use in dinner tonight because we got torn apart. full transparency, I think I may have overwatered, or it's just the amount of rain that we've gotten, because some of these guys, the stalks are just ripping off of them, and that also could be that my soil is just a little too dense. And so I'm using my hand shovel to kind of work the soil around the bulbs before I yank them out, because some of them are just getting topped, which is fine. These cloves are still, they're solid, so they're not completely, got a lot of sun coming in, so they're not mushy by any means. I just think that the main hardneck stalk is just ripping off of them. So my plan for any that are topped like this, I will go ahead and get these guys prepped, minced, put in some oil, whatnot, and made into like garlic pucks, or little single serve size that I can then freeze and then just take out of the freezer as I need to use them, and use them as frozen minced garlic. Any of the garlic that is still attached to the stalk, I will go ahead and dry in my basement to preserve for long-term storage. All of my garlic is hardneck. I think I have some elephant garlic. I have no idea how the elephant garlic did. I think that my music, which is the variety that does well for my area, is the one that's going to be doing the best, and it is for long-term storage. So that is my plan for these guys. I currently have 4 of these, but I mean, this is good sized garlic, and I am so thrilled, even if the heads are popping off. I just need to get these guys preserved so that they stay fresh and don't rot on me. All right, friends, so the bed of garlic, my main bed of garlic, has been harvested, and I am so thrilled with how well this garlic did. Mind you, I did get some really itty bitty ones, and this was my only one that actually was rotten. So we've got a rotten one and some itty bitties. These guys I'll compost because they're not really worth spending all that time taking the paper off. I am sweating because it is hot already, and it is only 9 o'clock in the morning. So let me show you guys how beautiful my itty bitty and this was about a majority of my garlic harvest last year. This year a majority is this. So I'm so stinking thrilled with how well this garlic did. All right, so I have about 15 or so minutes before I actually need to get ready to go to work. But I am overall super thrilled and happy with this harvest of garlic. And I really think it came down to this bed gets full sun. This is the bed in my garden that gets the most sunlight, which I was a little skeptical about putting my garlic here, only because I usually plant my peppers right here. But I think my peppers are doing just fine. I put them on, you can see the or the concrete barrier here. I put them right next to that concrete barrier in that bed, so that they're still close enough to getting that nice full sun. But I really think that the garlic needed it. The garlic last year was puny, and honestly, I was a little disheartened by it, but I think them getting full sun, initially, when planting out that garlic, I sterilized and I fertilized, and giving that really healthy fertilized garlic, getting that garlic to be really nice and fertilized before planting gave it all the nutrients it needed to get through the winter. And then once I started seeing that foliage, I started adding my nitrogen fertilizer, so the blood meal, bone meal, around those plants so that they could get another good boost to really put towards growing those bulbs. I'm in awe. So we are gonna harvest my other bed of garlic. I think I'll pull 1 or 2 just to show you how they're doing. They're not quite as ready as this bed was, just because my bed behind you doesn't get as much sun. So I think they're just a little bit further behind than this garlic was. But look at it. It's massive. So this is my volunteer bed that just quite literally has a smattering of just about everything. Try not to step on stuff. Looks like I've got some pokeweed that's trying to make its way in here, which, no thank you. So I am just going to pull, looks like we got one right there. This one looks like it might be ready. Yeah, this is like half the size of the garlic on the other bed. Still not a bad size, but it's also not, oh, well, that one's a little mushy. See, the other bed just worked way better. Let's see if I can get a foot in here. Yeah, so let me grab one of my other garlics. So a majority of the garlic that I pulled from the main garlic bed is this size, which is pretty good. And then I have a few that are just really nice and healthy. Now from this bed right here, this probably is going to be about the size that I'll get. And you can see it's still half the size. This one's a little mushy, so I am thrilled. I am definitely going to be planting my garlic in that bed from now on. Not this one, my other bed. So I'm going to take this time. I think I've got 15 or so minutes before I need to leave. I'm going to finish cleaning up all of the garlic that we harvested today, and get this hung up in my basement upside down so that any of the moisture because there is still moisture in this bulb. It goes down the root, or down the stalk, and this guy will brown up a bunch, and this outer layer of this garlic will become papery like the stuff we know from the grocery store. And once it's dried, about 2 to 3 weeks, I will go ahead and trim the stalks so that I'm not carrying this around in my house. This stuff will get composted, and these guys will be put away for long-term storage. I am so excited. This season has already been just so incredible, and I'm just sitting here looking at all of the tomatoes and peppers that are sitting up there and all of the beautiful flowers that I have. And I just want to thank you guys. I just want to thank you guys for coming along on this journey. If you guys want to enjoy any of my other content, I'll go ahead and, I don't know where my camera's at, but I'll pop a video up there somewhere for you guys to enjoy until my next upload. But thank you guys so much for joining me, and happy gardening.